This is hands down the best, most dynamic team building exercise I have ever seen. I've been trying to figure out what's the best way to build team. Do we go do a trust fall at some ropes course? Do we play laser tag or go drink at a pub? But I figured, Jiu-Jitsu, it's absolutely an amazing sport. It's all about strategy. It's like chess on the mat. These are the same things that happen in business. Strategy, leverage, how to deal with pressure, how to create pressure. We deal with that all the time. We're a design build construction company in the Cayman Islands. Our team is constantly working with the most discerning clients on the planet. These guys are all self-made millionaires, CEOs of big companies, and they have multiple houses, usually around the world. So we need to be prepared when we do business with these guys. So today, we're gonna figure out how to make these physical manifestations in jiu-jitsu situations, and we're gonna dissect them and figure out how they relate to business. We're gonna learn all these things together, and I'm very excited to see how we can take these things that we learn on the mat, off the mat. So wish me luck. I'm sure some of these guys are gonna be pretty happy to see if they can choke out the boss. The reason why we're here is we're going to use Jiu-Jitsu as a framework to say how we can learn things on the mat and how that relates to what we do outside. So basically, Jiu-Jitsu is a chess match, right? It's all about leverage. It's about technique. It's about creating pressure. It's about dealing with pressure. It's about changing the angle and creating a new opportunity for a submission or an escape. We do the same thing when we're dealing with business, right? We're dealing with high-end clients all the time, high-pressure situations. Sometimes we find ourselves in a shit situation. But a lot of times all we've got to do is figure out how to change the angle, reframe it, and create new leverage and make our escape or turn it completely. So we're going to try to use these sort of physical manifestations that we make on the mat. We're going to learn those things and we're going to feel how they relate to what we do off the mat.
I think from a management point of view, too much pressure on someone creates problems. Too little pressure, they do what they want. If you're on the bottom and you tap from too little pressure, then you've probably got to toughen up. But if you take too much pressure, it can also hurt you. So there's a few kind of aspects in there.
So there's an email that comes out, the client's hot, they invite you to spar with them. You're not obligated to do that, right? You don't have to put yourself in that situation. And when you do, you're not exactly sure what they have in their bag, right? That email came at you. Were you really in danger? Or did it just upset your ego? It might not have affected the job or your performance, or how we got paid, or a timeline or anything. It was just somebody venting. So don't take the bait. Guy comes at you hard, you go back at him hard. You guys are both in that lots of energy exchange scenario versus staying calm, waiting for that moment to bring up a new piece of information that says, oh, wait a minute, slow things down. You don't have to react so fast. You expend so much energy and you have more time to think.
Someone's on top of me and I don't pay attention to where his arm is, I'm just going for his legs, he's gonna fucking choke me.
When somebody's choking you out, like, you have to breathe. You can't not do that first. There's other shit going on and it's bad, but you can't solve anything if you can't breathe.
Yeah, you're dealing with a client, they basically decided to attack for whatever reason, and then your first reaction is to defend, and a lot of times, like the analogy is you might actually grab the wrong piece of the problem. The way to sort that out is to, protect yourself from getting in a worse position. So don't say something stupid that, gives him information that he's going to use against you later, or come up with something that's not true. Because once you break trust, you're done. Protect your neck, tuck your chin. Start to work that angle, but it's all moving very slowly, so you can get a good assessment of where the actual danger is.
He's holding on at the top, so when people pull this one down, let me take this one will shoot straight up, boom, and that's your choke. But if you were to switch it round and do the other way, there's nothing to choke with. That makes sense? Now from here, if you try to choke me and just squeeze, there's nothing really there, it's more. So this is the stable position you want, it's called the seat belt. And from here, you're trying to move to get out, etc. Try to get your hips down to the side, try to move, all right? Normally, if you try to get here and your back is on the floor, you're generally safe. It's hard for this person to do anything else now.
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes!
Everything just got on top of you. You messed up 15 months ago, you've done nothing about it in the meantime. Let it compound, and you have to take drastic action so it's switch. So in Jiu-Jitsu terms or grappling terms, I'm on his back. He is seconds from going out. Alright? If he doesn't do something drastic, it's game over. So in this situation,
the first thing I gotta do is I gotta make sure that I'm prioritized. So I'm gonna protect my neck, but I only have seconds because I have to transition to the next move immediately. So the first thing I'm gonna do is protect my neck, then I'm gonna change levels, drop the ankle, and be able to flip the problem.
okay, you've got the problem now in front of you, and the problem's not neutralized. You literally have to still go forward and neutralize it. Hopefully there's been enough impact damage caused by the initial movement that's got you in a better position, but it's not neutralized yet. You still have to get your control holds, you still have to establish position and make sure that the actual problem is done and dusted.
First thing I gotta do is make sure I can breathe. I only have a second to make sure I can switch this problem. I gotta change levels and then turn it. Follow the problem all the way. The problem's not done until you're all the way in control.
And this person drags you down, holds onto you, right? So from here, he's got hold of me, right? And I'm trying to get out. I've got the threat of being rolled as well, you see? So me staying here, I can't see anything else happening from either me getting worn out or trying to, basically get away from him or whatever it is. So I'm gonna shift my perspective or my position. Let's say, for instance, I got top position from here. I'm trying to keep close, but he's strong. He's pushed me off on the chest, push, and he's bridging out, I'm trying to get away, go. If I just stay doing the same thing, or I'm rigid, I'm probably going to fall off and end up on the bottom.
Panicking to try and get away from, this position. Ronnie's like water, fluid, feeling it, finding that, where that pivot point is, that momentum, staying on top, constantly evolving and changing to adapt to the situation underneath it.
From here, first throw, really easy. We're not going to lift them. Step across, pull, and he's going to do the flip, land, like so. Okay, all I'm doing from here, opposite side, you got to take it down, look. So from here, if I try to turn now and step across, it's too far from my hips. Okay, so from here, I'm going to push that one way, he's going to step.
Headlock, you can use a lot of energy trying to pull back out of that headlock, as opposed to just rolling with the punches. Use that momentum to get in a better position, right? You're fighting all these things at once. Like just go with just go with it.
The headlock might be the argument that you let the client win on, right? But then you're using your sort of business agility to then, with momentum, get back on top with another point. Right?
Yeah. Today we're going to look at being on top and ending up on the bottom. If you end up on the bottom, that was not the end of the world. This person is going to try and pull themselves out, try and pull away from you. So he's using like the, go on, stand up, go. Okay? So you can be on the bottom of the fight, but you can still win. So, feet on the floor, pull them back down. So every time he tries to lift up, try to lift, I just push myself here.
I'm Shane. I'm one of the project managers at Encompass. Yeah, the class has been great so far. This is actually only my second class, but plenty of takeaways from the class. When they make a move, that's when you can apply pressure. When they're trying to escape, you can apply pressure. Stretching, making that problem thinner. Help break it is a great takeaway for today.
So let's say, for instance, this guy's on the bottom, he's pushing on my chest like this. Automatically go for an arm bar. So I'll go, and I'm trying to get this arm bar. You see? Poor timing, poor technique. So I'm operating on his timing, where I want to create the time. I want to apply the right leverage, right? And make him skate, and then he's operating on my schedule. So from here, he's pushing on my chest. I'm going to push his face like this. Here. See it, push, see what happens? Now I have an arm. Now I have the arm bar. So from here, you've got it. So right move, Wrong time, wrong goal. But if you try to jump on something when it's not there, you're going to probably end up falling flat on your face, or you end up in a bad position as well. When I'm creating pressure and you're not used to dealing with it, you're going to do what's easy rather than what's right. And that's when you capitalise on. Right, but even from the bottom, I've got to still focus. Okay, where's he going? What's he doing? What's he pushing on? What's he going to give me? If I jump all of a sudden to something, I miss it, I'm back to square one, but you're on top of me now. He puts both hands together, right? And he's squeezing really hard on my neck, okay? So go on, squeeze, go. Now, if you're not used to this, you're going to tap. So this person symbolises stress, unhappy client, accumulation of jobs, crap day at the office, tiredness, bad nutrition, not enough sleep. All this stuff is now on top of you because you allowed it to get there. But if we fight our way out when we're tired, you start squeezing. Go. Okay, number one, I'm going to turn my head so I can actually not get my jaw broken. The real issue, okay, is down here. I'm just going to keep hold, squeeze. From here, I start using my head, literally, and I'm digging in. He can hold and squeeze all he wants, but eventually, push me away. Look where we go. From the bottom to the top, but I'm still not out. And I can't just jump and let go, because the problem's not neutralized. I have to lean into the problem, at which point, hopefully he's going to give me an arm, and I can arm bar. First things first. Number one, I messed up 3 moves ago by allowing him to get to this position. Now he has leverage, distance, alright? All I've got is literally the floor behind me, which is the problem. So if I try to push it away, all I'm doing is exposing my face, alright? I'm going to look like I've been chasing park cars. So now here, I start trying to stop everything. Okay, I can't focus on what he's doing. What I have to do from here, get in close, grab on. Now he wants to live up to get away from me, alright? Action, reaction. See? I've got to keep him close. The closer I am to danger, the further I am from harm. So now when he tries to hit me, you see, if he actually gives me the ability to move and get past and control, at some point, I've taken away the space, right, simply by his actions.
Lesson from the mat that we can take right out into the field. Make sure that we don't give problems enough space to generate things that can hurt us. We get in there, cover them up quick. Sometimes it's hard, we gotta work harder, we gotta work longer, we gotta involve people, we gotta raise our hands when we made a mistake. Those are hard to do. But doing the hard things early makes it way easier, because when those problems get momentum, it gets a lot harder to solve. You get a lot less beat up that way.
This is a very good example of being on the bottom and fucking trying loads of stuff and realizing it's not working. Do you know what you can do instead? Let go, step back, stand up.
Kind of having a disagreement with a subcontractor or a client, and you're spending a lot of energy. You can feel you just don't have the leverage point. The right move is the tap too. Like sometimes you gotta say, okay, you got that round. Yeah, or just escape, right? Like it's not always about submitting; it's about surviving. The first thing you want to do is survive.
So people are trying to do this and twist, but it doesn't affect anything.
Yeah.
A couple of things though. Number one, if I take the space away of his tendons in his shoulder and his elbow like this, straight away you feel a bit more tension, right? Yeah. Now instead of trying to lift it, all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it down here, and then a small movement, and he'll tap. Alright? But it's just that fine detail to get that finish.
What we're learning here is we're learning that if we can get a little comfortable with it, understanding that the danger's mitigated. Like, yes, he's punching me, but there's not a lot of space for him. He's not going to do a lot of damage. I can protect, I can move, I can do a couple things to get in that better position. I can wait for him to make a mistake, right? That's so relative to how we deal with business, right? All the time.
It's not uncomfortable getting punched. And like that's the same in business. Like someone's writing you a nasty email and you're like, that hurt my soul. It's like, no, it didn't. They're just words and they don't matter. Yeah. Like just get comfortable with like getting punched. It's okay.
I'm gonna try and grab your arm. Don't let me get the arm. You ready? Okay, go. So I'm trying to do this. You see? Nothing is in place that needs to be for me to get down. I don't want to go chasing the problem. I'm gonna bring the problem to me. So I'm here like that, you're trying to push me away. I'm gonna push on his face like that. What's your hand gonna do now? Thank you. You see here? What happened there? I presented it to you. Okay, so I had to put things in place. The first thing I put into place was what? Secure his hips. The second thing I put into place getting low and close to the problem. Third thing I did from here is I applied pressure in the right place. His hand comes up and starts trying to push, but there's his wrist. Things are starting to fall into place, right?
If you try to move too quickly to get into contract, it actually put us in a bad position. We can end up moving to a contract that is so amorphous, we don't even know exactly what we're getting into, right? Step by step, making sure that each little detail falls in the right sequence. Everything is in place before we close that deal.
You've still got your kind of like, all right, maybe you want to get this last bit done. It's the windows on a project, but there's a storm. You're still, all right, we're set to go. We don't just relax and stop and do nothing. What can be done in the meantime? So if I'm on top of you and I can't get your arm, I'm still going to keep control of your head. I'm still going to keep control of your hips. Eventually your arm will come back to me from applying pressure in the right place.
So I was kind of inspired by my son Cam, who does jiu-jitsu, and he would come home and talk about the class and talk about the pressure that was created and how he got out of it and how he dealt with I just really kind of fell in love with his enthusiasm with it. And so I'd come and watch a couple classes, and Ronnie and I started talking a little bit about it, and I was like, there seems to be a lot of the lessons that he was teaching, they were life lessons, business lessons, they were leadership lessons, they were kind of an optimization type lessons. And I was like, what a cool way to be able to show something where you can see it physically happen and then relate it to places off the mat, with creating pressure, with dealing with obstacles, with understanding how to solve problems in a complex way, not having to solve it all in one move, sort of thing.
Why am I bald?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was because as a child, I basically did boxing training from a very early age. Therefore, my body started producing testosterone by about 9 years old, at which point when I reached school, my nickname was Ronnie Pubes because I had hair on my chest, under my armpits and on my balls. I think my hair fell out because of too much testosterone, that's why. Okay, bye.
That's all you get.
If you imagine that life is a mat, and when you step on the mat, you are in combat. So from the day you're born to the day you die, you're fighting, whether you like it or not. As we said before, some days you're on top, some days you're on bottom, some days you're winning, some days you're losing, but you're always learning, which is the most important thing. And I think a lot for business is the same.
And how's it been so far training with the guys?
It's been a lot of fun, really great group of guys, which are a reflection on Eric's team. I've trained with them before, so it's a privilege to train them and teach them. They always come in, they've got like smiles on their faces when they come in. Not so much when they leave, but things happen. But
Am I going to tap, or am I going to subject myself to a snap or a nap?
you can make someone quit and learn a lesson. Or you put too much pressure by someone tapping, right, they're not going to want to come back. If you break something on them, they're definitely not going to come back. Right?
When you are applying pressure, you really have to understand how they are going to receive that pressure. Are they going to tap really quickly from it and learn something? Or are they going to be really stubborn and pass out trying to fight you, or you end up breaking them completely, right? Like, those two options aren't really good for you as a leader. So the idea is to try and, make sure that you're framing things in that leadership perspective, and you have to apply the appropriate amount of pressure that's effective.
Comes towards you, throws a jab, boom, change your levels. Okay? Change your levels. Two choices now. Boom, I can come up. Control. From here, if you look what I'm doing, he can't turn any other direction now, apart from going face down. So he has to turn away, at which point, take it back. We'll move on to that stuff in a second. Okay, and the third one we're going to do, he throws a jab from here underneath it.
Bang! I'll see that. Did you see that?
I didn't even see that. What? Unreal.
So I'm basically balancing him between the wall and here, but if this wasn't here, I'll do the same thing to take him over here and here. Now he's going to want to pull his legs apart. Pull his legs apart. Once I've locked onto that leg, I'm not letting go. Once I've got that leg or his hips, I'm staying on it, keeping everything tight. The level change is the most important part. So switching from, if you're here and you go like this, probably a knee in the face. But here, oh, shoot, right forward. And wait for that half step when he changes. Yeah, as soon as I'm here. I don't care if he puts me in the guillotine now, there's nothing here. He's going down, again, up and over. He's my base.
You got it, you got it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, you got me.
That's like getting in an email fight, right? It's like, all right, I gotta change the level. Let's get an in-person meeting. Let me meet you on site. You know, let me pick up the phone and call. You know, that's changing the level.
The ability to operate when you're kind of more tired. So in other words, we're going to do like a little kind of pre-exhaustion exercise, nothing too crazy. And then we're going to come in and try to remember a drill or a movement and keep repeating that. And you'll see how much basically the stuff you do outside of work, how much can have a positive effect or detrimental effect depending. So it's 6 minutes each round, right? So you've got 2 minutes of drilling, 1 minute of rest, 2 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest, back in.
Cause my monsters are real, and they're trained how to kill, and there's no coming back, and they just laugh at how I feel, and these monsters can fight, and they'll never
Touch, drop, touch, reset. You've got side control. This person here pushes you off on the chest, push my chip now, hands inside, push, knee inside. Oh, good, push all the way. Get all the way to guard, get your legs around me. Wrap me up. Good, from here, let go. Push his legs over, go the other side. Here, same thing. Next goes the chest, push me up. Good, legs inside. Oh, get me to guard, wrap your legs around me. Good. That.
My team and I just completed the most dynamic team building and leadership training. For 6 weeks, we learned business jiu-jitsu. We built team, we built respect. We built technique, we built resilience. We got comfortable being uncomfortable. We learned to slow things down, we learned to line things up in sequence. We learned we don't have to solve the problem in one move. We learned that the closer we are to danger, the further we are from harm. We learned to take space away from the problem. We learned to prioritize the right problem or the right opportunity. We learned not to grab the wrong piece of the problem. We learned that timing matters. The right move at the wrong time is still the wrong move. We learned to change the angle to gain better leverage. We learned to choose strategy over strength, the lesson beyond the mat. In business, just like on the mat, power without precision is wasted. The leader who reacts too quickly gets trapped by their own momentum. The one who pauses, observes, and aligns the next move with intention creates flow. We don't win by overpowering problems. We win by understanding them, by sequencing moves, by reading timing, energy, and opportunity. Leadership, like jiu-jitsu, is a practice in presence, seeing clearly, moving purposefully, and applying just enough pressure at the right moment. Leaders aren't trying to win every round. They're building the kind of team, culture, and rhythm that makes winning inevitable.